So today I'm going to show you how to use a kit from Canada Strong Masks to add a MERV 13 3M furnace filter to an off-the-shelf box fan, a 20-inch box fan from Canadian Tire. We're using a kit that's available from Canada Strong Masks, and this helps bring all of this together so you're making effectively a single filter Corsi-Rosenthal box, a very simple version of the Corsi-Rosenthal box. Here I'm going to turn on the fan just to make sure it's working, and I'm going to write down with a Sharpie permanent marker the direction of airflow so I know which direction air is flowing out of the fan. So what we see here is that it's coming out the side where the dial switch can be found. So I'm going to use the marker to show that direction of airflow. It comes from the back to the front. Next, I disconnect it, and I go and get the gasket material, which is the same sort of material you find for insulating windows and doors at the hardware store. There's nothing magical about it. It's got some foam, and it's got some sticky backing on it, and you're just going to run along the edge, the perimeter of the back of the fan. Okay, so I'm going along the back of the fan here, along the edge, and the idea is to have a compressible ring around the back of the fan, and you're going to basically put the furnace filter up against that and compress it against it. All right, it's a very soft foam, so it doesn't take a lot to compress it and get a good seal. You could always take like a glue gun or even some duct tape to fill in the gaps afterwards if you feel that there's a gap in there that you've missed. But this is a good solution right here, this little gasket that we put around the edge of the box fan. And then when I get to the very end, I'll use some scissors and cut off the end right there. All right, just like that. It lines up, and I peel away the tape, and I've realized that it's not quite stuck, so I'm going to go around with my hands and compress that foam to make sure that it's stuck all the way around the edge of the box fan. All right. Not too hard, but you just want to make sure you get it done right. So all the way around the edge, we've now got that gasket. Okay. So next up, I'm going to install the shroud. And the shroud is basically a piece of vinyl or sticky vinyl coating. It's got two circles that we're going to remove, one in the very center and one at the upper corner. And they match the areas that we want to cover up and leave exposed on the front of the fan. So I'm going to take the little circle off right now. I'm going to dispose of that on the side. I'm going to use that corner, as the instructions say, as the starting point for applying basically this giant piece of tape on the front of the box fan. But I use that circle to identify the corner. I want to make sure that it lines up along the edge right there, and a little bit at a time. It takes some patience. And if you don't get it quite right at first, it peels off a little bit, so you know, and it won't rip, so it's all decent and good. And you can see me just adjusting it there, and you can see there's a couple little bumps in that. It won't have a big performance effect if there are a couple of bumps. If it's not perfect, it's all good. The idea is that you're exposing the very center of the box fan to maximize airflow. It's the same sort of thing that you'll see on shrouds on air conditioners outdoors. Same thing. Okay? And it helps improve the airflow. So you can see that it's all stuck right there. It's fantastic. It works really well. It's designed for this specific fan. If you're using a different type of fan, it won't work at all or as well. And now I'm going to line up the arrow that's on the furnace filter with the arrows that I drew earlier on the box fan. And I'm now going to add the clip. There's two clips. I'm adding one clip and another clip, and that helps compress that filter. It's going to compress that filter against the fan backing. up onto the gasket. You could always use a giant elastic or something else to hold it in place if you needed to. These clips help. And if you feel that you're not getting the right gaps, or if there are too many gaps, then you could always use a bit of duct tape or something along the edge just to get it right. But that should work pretty well, and it took about 15 minutes to execute. So this is probably the simplest kind of air cleaner that you can make. It takes less time than a Corsi-Rosenthal box. It may be a lot easier for most of us to maintain because it's just a clipped-on furnace fan, or furnace filter on a fan. It works really well, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. So this can be a really good solution for a lot of us. There you have it. Just testing out to make sure the air is coming out of the fan. It's working just fine. So the kit retails for about 20 bucks, $18 or $20 from Canada Strong Masks. It's a decent purchase. It makes it really easy to set up and maintain an air cleaner in your house or workplace. It's a really good deal.